My sister has one of the new vacuum pumps like a lot of the people that are getting their machines now have, and I've been really impressed with this. So she's done about 80 batches. We changed the oil after about 37, 40, something like that. So it's been about 40 more batches since she changed the oil. And it's amazingly clean still. She's been doing a lot of 10-pound batches, and yet it's as if the oil is new when you look through the little sight glass. You really can't tell that it's been used. And when we drained out the oil last time, it is cleaner than the oil that comes out of mine after even a single batch. I've been experimenting with using the ballast system on my machine, but it's a different kind of pump altogether. I thought it was ridiculous to spend $800 for this vacuum pump when the other vacuum pump is only $300. So my thought is I could get 2 2/3 pumps at the price of this. Now I'm thinking if I have to replace mine at some point, I will probably pay the money for this, because this is an incredible vacuum pump with how well it does as far as staying nice and clean. Anyway, we're going to drain it and see if there's anything in it besides oil. So we'll bring it in here. Oh, and this is the way she has hers set up. So we've got it sitting on a stand so that the exhaust from the cooling system of the vacuum chamber blows right underneath it and through without heating up the pump at all. And then she uses this fan blowing up onto it to help keep it cool when it's running. And right now it's warm, probably 110 degrees or so. So we let it warm up, made sure that it was still warm before we drain it, so that hopefully that'll help it drain easier. So we'll get this drained and check it out. So there's still a little bit of residue from last time that we drained it. Okay. Wow. I'm going to tip it forward to make sure that if there's anything in there, it comes out. I have not seen a single droplet of water come out. That's just crazy clean still. That's astounding. I don't see a single particle, not a drop of anything. This is as clean as mine is after it's gone through the filter. That is amazing. In fact, we're going to use this oil, we're going to filter it and then use it in my machine. Well, that's it. Make sure that there's no drops of oil in that outlet. And that is amazing how clean and clear that is. I'll set this aside and we'll get it refilled real quick. And I'm going to again make sure that that outlet is completely clean so I don't have any droplets coming out. And I'm not going to clean this top right now. We cleaned it a little while ago. So I'm going to unscrew it. And to dismantle this, all you have to do is basically squeeze the ends in and pull it out. And you can do it while it's on there. Whoop. That's the oil I'm going to use. We'll get it filled back up. Okay, right up to the middle of there. On the demister part, this comes apart, and you probably already know that, you've seen that, but you can take it apart while it's on there. 2 of the splines, if you kind of look underneath, you can see 4 splines. 2 of them have little notches that grab on. On this one right now, it's on these spots. So all I have to do is squeeze it front and back, and that will spread those open a little bit, and then I can just lift it right up. And then I can take this apart, the little flap, and then the filter out of there, and do any cleaning necessary. And I only worry about that, and this one's my sister's, so I don't worry about it a whole lot. But we've taken it apart once, and that's when we notice if there's any oil starting to drip out of this onto here. That means it's getting pretty saturated. Or if it's taking longer to pull down the vacuum, I suppose, also. But basically, I don't worry about it too much because it's not really a problem. And this whole top is kind of more of a baffle, I guess, than anything. Because this is the valve, so it's basically a one-way valve because it's just a flappy rubber thing. Or anyway, it just keeps stuff from spraying out. So, and then when you put it back on, and when you push it down, you can hear it click into place. Yeah, so that's pretty easy. Now I'm going to twist it on the rest of the way. There, now the splines are here. Actually here and here. So then I squeeze here and here on these two areas, and that widens these out so that it releases the little tab. You can see where that goes into there. Okay, so anyway, my sister's machine is ready to put back into service. I'll send that through the filter and then reuse it on my machine, but I don't even know if it needs to go through a filter. That's clean. There's 0 particles in there that I can see. There's no water droplets. I mean, it's just wonderful looking. That's 40 batches. Simple as that. I thought as long as we were doing a little bit of oil draining and changing, we would come over to my machine and do a comparison. So this is the oil we just saw from my sister's machine. And one of the containers I have that I've been using on mine for almost 6 years, 5.5 years, is the same kind of container. It's just not quite as clear as that. And it's slightly different shape. But anyway, it's close enough to the same so that when we shine a light through them, we should be able to see the differences. And of course, I've done a different set of batches, so the oil color might be somewhat different because it does seem to go yellow or pinkish color depending on what you freeze dry. So let's get mine drained and see how that works. And of course, mine has this hose going down to the filter system. We'll take oil out until we start seeing bubbles come into here, which means this portion of it's completely empty, the actual pump portion. And then I'll be able to refill it from there. So let's move these over and get a sample. So these are my 2 filters. I have it go through one, it comes down through the bottom and then up through this filter, across down through the middle, and then up through the filter, and then back to the pump. So the pump, sending it back to the pump. And so this is the line coming down from the vacuum pump. So we'll open the valve and drain that pump into here so we can get a look at it. And on mine, I think it's only been about 15, maybe 20 batches since I filtered this last, or since I drained it. So I'm starting to pull bubbles through there. That means this is empty and pulling air. We need to refill it. So I'll stop at that point. And I'll close this valve again. All right, now let's compare that to the other one. So you can see the color, of course, is considerably different, but the clarity isn't that bad. There are a few droplets of water in the bottom of mine, but the overall clarity isn't too bad. It's not cloudy. It's nice and clear. It just is a different color because I ran a different set of foods in it, and it definitely will pick up a little bit of color sometimes, as far as I know. Anyway, you can see nice and clear, not cloudy, so it doesn't have water in it. So I'll get mine refilled to the middle of the sight glass and we'll get it ready to go again. And on mine, I use this piece that I added for recirculating the oil in the continuous flow filtering system. So as soon as this is topped off, it'll be ready to go also.